Bureaucracies have an org chart. Successful businesses have an accountability chart. Stay tuned for that. You've all heard about the organizational chart. This is a hierarchical model that shows who's at the top, middle layers below them, all the way down to the people. And it's intended to share a reporting structure. And while this is very useful in bureaucratic organizations, it's rarely useful when your focus is on getting things done. If you run a business and you want that business to thrive, the focus should be on accountability, not organizational structure. In this video, I'm going to walk through how to set up the accountability chart. I did a video before that talked to the 3 functional areas of an organization. You can take a look at that. When you think about your company, there are 3 functional areas. There is the sales and marketing area, the operations functional area, and then there's the administration, IT, and finance area. And these 3 areas support the organization. Now, in accountability chart, we do organize things that way, but then we think about this hierarchically from, let's call it bottom to top. If you're a services company, like many of you watching this, at the top of the chart is not who's in charge. At the top of the chart is where the work is getting done. And you create boxes, and each of those boxes are an area of accountability. In a services organization, it'll be typically the certain types of deliverables you do. And you'll put names of people or groups of people on that. And in those delivery accountability boxes, you can list what items those are, and it helps you understand who is doing what at the delivery level. Now, hierarchically, I always think about the delivery as the support group, and oftentimes in an organizational chart, that ends up at the bottom. But at the end of the day, the most important thing, especially in a services business, is that work is getting done on behalf of your client. So it stays at the top. At the top, that's the work getting done. These are the people that are delivering the services that you promise to your customers and clients. And you organize that work in a way that the people delivering that work fit neatly into those boxes. Those boxes are areas of accountability. And this should show you when you have somebody that's maybe spread a little too thin. It should show you who's doing what. And then below the line, well, that's the support organization. That's initially management. The layer immediately below what is getting done, that supports what we do, are the managers. They are responsible for leading, managing, and ultimately accountability for the delivered product. That means they're responsible for the services delivery. If it's copywriting or content creation, they're responsible for the words team, the bloggers, the copywriters. If it's social media, they're responsible for the social media. What this layer shows is a level of management that has accountability. Now, when you're putting these accountability blocks together, what you will find is there may be a little bit of confusion. Where do certain things fall? You might not necessarily have management in a certain area that you need to have. There may be people wearing multiple hats. When you create this accountability chart, it's very clear who's wearing multiple hats. Further down the accountability chart, well, that is leadership in a functional way. I mentioned earlier that an organization has 3 functional components: sales and marketing, operations, and then finance, IT, and administration. And you have leadership in each of those areas. How is that leadership supporting the management of delivering your services? Is that leadership focused on sales goals? Is it focused on the marketing and the process? Is the leadership focused on delivering the tools that the managers need to successfully deliver services? Is it focusing on a PMO, a portfolio of projects? Is the leadership focused on all of the infrastructure that goes into it, whether it's financial, that is capital needs, or it's technology, which is information systems, information technology, whether it's HR, it's getting the right people into the organization, into the right seats. And finally, is there an overall support from the leaders who either own the company or are responsible for the company that provide a vision, that provide an idea of how to tie everything together. Your accountability chart is an easy way to, at a glance, see how your organization is structured in terms of how work is still produced and delivered, rather than a hierarchy that you might find in an org chart. And finally, we're following a model called EOS, Entrepreneur Operating System. And supporting all of this activity are the visionary and the integrator, making sure that all the pieces are in place for these teams and making sure that we have a long-term plan. So when you're doing your accountability chart, start at the top of your chart and look at the services that you do, services that you deliver, and make sure that you frame these so that the people doing that work fit neatly into where their areas of accountability are. Once you've done that, it makes it very clear who's doing what, and it also makes it very clear who maybe is spread too thin amongst different areas. And then look at your support organization. Who is responsible for those teams, and are those things organized correctly? Or is there a situation where there is no responsibility for it? Maybe there is a hierarchical issue where somebody is not accountable for some element. And finally, look at the overall organization, overall leadership, to make sure that those managing getting things done are being led in a way that allows them to do their work in line with the company's values and vision. I hope this is helpful. I do videos like this every week. Sometimes they're on marketing, sometimes they're on business operations, sometimes it's on motivation. If you found this useful, I'd appreciate a like. If you have some other ideas on how you do accountability charts, I'd love to hear that as well. Put some comments down below. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.